Mission Valley.
And back then they're asking about where the next best tennis players coming from in America, because Jimmy Connors and McEnroe were kind of fading out.
Well, Pete Sampras, a 17-year-old, did really well in the last tournament. You've got Michael Chang coming up. Agassi's coming up. They're all under.
And I remember saying, watch out for these young guys coming up. Michael Chang, Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras, and Jim Courier. These guys are going to be somebody.
Suddenly, by the late 80s, there is this hum that there is this core group of teenagers that are coming on strong, and it's sort of this derby. Which of these four thoroughbreds is going to get to the finish line first? Who's going to win their first major?
That generation probably had the strongest influence on my game. Agassi, maybe one of the best backhands ever, one of the best return players ever, really was able to show us how early you can take a ball. Then Jim Courier, the way he was able to run around the backhand time and time again and find that inside out forehand, then inside in, and just dominate the court from there. Pete Sampras, maybe the greatest server of all time. The running forehand was epic, and then just the way he was able to mix up his game, go from defense to offense. Michael had a bit of everything, and then the speed.
What does speed mean in tennis? Speed gives you options. Speed gives you the ability to stay in points, offensively, defensively. That guy had some monster legs. If he was a football player, he would have had like a 4.3 in the fourth.
I think he was the fastest guy ever to play the game. You got to be quick unless you're 6'10". But if you're under 6 feet, you got to have speed. If you don't have speed, I say you could play golf.
I don't think anyone would have handicapped this race and bet big on Michael Chang. The guy who's 5'8" and 135 pounds, and honestly, and travels with mommy, and there was not a history of Asian American players. Michael Chang, by his own admission, he did not look like a conventional tennis player.
Jim Courier, remember the Junior Davis Cup team, he's 6'1", so he is considerably bigger than Michael Chang. Comes in the number 2 seed in the tournament, and Chang is the number 6 seed. Chang beat Al Parker.
You know, Kalamazoo is probably the biggest tournament for the boys' 16s and 18s. You know, all the best players from around the U.S. go to play there.
Chang's serve were first point of this game.
Everybody has a weakness. Once I see one time that he's hit a shot that's just nowhere close, made a bad error off a certain shot.
He continues to make some mistakes, though, and it's really hurt him in the match.
Guess what? You're going to see that same ball again. You're going to see the same ball until you show me you can hit that shot. And if you can't hit that shot, I'm going to keep giving it to you. Yeah, and I beat him pretty comfortably.
6-4, 6-2, the national AT-USTA champion, Michael Chang. We'll be back.
Every player that plays Kalamazoo in the 18s, they all know, hey, if you win Kalamazoo in the singles or doubles, you get a wild card into the U.S. Open. Ended up playing Paul McNamee first round. Won that match in 4 sets, which allowed me to become the youngest male ever to win a Grand Slam match at the U.S. Open. So I got a fair amount of press, and I think without question that first U.S. Open as an amateur in 1987 was the time I started to realize people are going to start to know who I am.